Daily News Brief is here sharp, short, and to the point. Subscribe now to stay in the loop. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Russian-backed head of Donetsk says Moscow must capture canal from Ukraine to solve water crisis. Oklahoma man arrested after 11-year-old stepdaughter gives birth. Mother charged with enabling abuse. Piles of human cremated remains discovered outside Las Vegas. Exclusive-U.S. confirms nation's first travel-associated human screwworm case connected to Central American outbreak. Woman calls out Gap after noticing small tag on secondhand dress. There really needs to be more legislation against this. Hollie Strano, mix 94.1 weather forecaster, to miss time after weekend injury, trip. Judge rules Utah's congressional map must be redrawn for the 2026 elections. Trump just did the one thing the Supreme Court said he can't do. iOS 26. Here's everything you need to know about Apple's upcoming iPhone and iPad updates. U.S. confirms first human case of travel-associated screwworm. A homeowner is surrounded after refusing to sell their property. Be very careful, your land is likely worthless to anyone else. Caroline Leavitt's truly unbelievable new claim about Trump backfires immediately. Nvidia to report second quarter earnings, expects $8 billion hit from China chip ban. Fed's Jerome Powell just painted a grim picture of the U.S. economy after GDP slowed notably and job growth stalls. Here's why it's bullish. Scientists make unbelievable discovery nearly 9,000 feet below surface of Pacific Ocean. A new piece of the puzzle. France summons U.S. Ambassador Kushner over unacceptable letter about rising anti-Semitism. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. Russia must seize a key canal in Donetsk to resolve the region's critical water shortage, claims its Russian-backed leader.
Donetsk, currently under partial Russian control, faces severe water rationing, impacting daily life for residents.
Capturing the Siversky Donetsk Donbass Canal from Ukrainian forces is presented as the only solution to this pressing issue.
This situation highlights the challenges faced by Moscow in demonstrating improved living conditions under its control.
An Oklahoma man was arrested for child sexual abuse after his 11-year-old stepdaughter gave birth.
DNA testing confirmed the stepfather as the baby's father with a 99.9% match.
The mother was also charged with enabling the abuse and neglecting their 6 children.
The children were living in deplorable conditions, exposed to unsanitary environments and neglect.
The Bureau of Land Management is investigating the discovery of approximately 70 piles of human cremated remains near Searchlight, Nevada.
A viewer, granted anonymity, discovered the remains on a dirt road and provided photographic evidence to the news station.
While scattering cremated remains on public land is permissible under Bureau of Land Management policy, commercial distribution is prohibited.
The investigation is ongoing, and authorities are working to determine the circumstances surrounding this unusual discovery.
The United States has confirmed its first human case of New World screwworm linked to the Central American outbreak.
This flesh-eating parasite was confirmed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on August 4.
The Maryland Department of Health investigated the case, which involved a patient returning from El Salvador.
While the public health risk is considered low, this case raises concerns within the livestock industry.
A TikTok user exposed Gap for allegedly misleading customers about a dress' sustainable qualities.
The dress had a tag promoting sustainability, but was made of non-recycled polyester and spandex.
This incident highlights the growing problem of greenwashing in the fast fashion industry.
Consumers and advocates are demanding increased regulation and transparency from these companies.
Hollie Strano, the new mix 94.1 weather forecaster, is taking time off after an injury.
She sustained a concussion and required staples while setting up her son's dorm room.
Strano recently joined Mix 94.1 after her departure from WKYC Channel 3 last year.
She will be absent from her regular broadcasting schedule while she recovers from this incident.
A Utah judge ruled the state legislature must redraw its congressional districts.
The current map, adopted in 2021, divides the Democratic stronghold of Salt Lake County.
This division dilutes Democratic voting power across 4 Republican-leaning districts.
The judge found the legislature disregarded voter-approved safeguards against gerrymandering.
Former President Trump is challenging a Supreme Court ruling by attempting to remove Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve Board.
This action directly contradicts the court's prior decision in Trump v. Wilcox, which limited presidential authority over the Federal Reserve.
The court's Republican-appointed justices, typically supportive of expanded executive power, made an exception for the Fed due to its unique structure.
This case will test the justice's commitment to this exception and the stability of the Federal Reserve's independence.
Apple is skipping iOS 19 and launching iOS 26 this fall, aligning version numbers with the year ahead.
The new liquid glass design introduces a translucent aesthetic across Apple's operating systems.
iOS 26 features improvements to phone, messages, and photos, along with live translation capabilities.
The update is compatible with iPhones released in 2019 or later, excluding the XR, Xs, and XS Max models.
The United States has confirmed its first human case of New World screwworm linked to international travel.
This case involves a patient returning from a trip to El Salvador, a Central American nation.
The screwworm parasite, which devours living flesh, has been spreading northward from Central America.
Eradicated from the United States in the 1960s, this poses a significant threat to livestock and the economy.
A homeowner refused to sell their property to a charter school, mirroring the Pixar movie Up.
The school demolished surrounding houses and built a new campus, leaving the homeowner's house isolated.
The homeowner, who co-owns the property with a family member, is now considering its value given the school's persistent interest.
Commenters advised caution, as the property's value may be significantly diminished without the school as a buyer.
Caroline Leavitt stated President Donald Trump is the most transparent president.
Critics quickly pointed to Trump's continued refusal to release the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Demands for transparency also include Trump's tax returns and comprehensive medical records.
Several critics highlighted Trump's inconsistent policies and opaque decision-making processes.
NVIDIA is concluding big tech earnings season with its second quarter results on Wednesday.
The report follows policy changes regarding NVIDIA chip sales to China and a potential tariff on semiconductors.
NVIDIA anticipates a substantial financial impact from these developments, impacting its bottom line.
Investors are eager for insights into chip shipments, artificial intelligence spending, and sales figures in China.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell described an economy facing policy-driven headwinds and rising uncertainty.
He highlighted higher tariffs impacting global commerce and tighter immigration rules slowing labor force growth.
Powell also noted potential long-term impacts on productivity from shifts in tax, spending, and regulatory policies.
This cautious outlook stems from multiple shocks affecting both supply and demand, complicating the Federal Reserve's response.
Researchers documented a new bioluminescent sea slug species deep in the Pacific Ocean. This unique sea slug, Bathydevius caudactylus, swims freely at depths between 3,300 and 13,100 feet. Studying this species helps scientists understand adaptations to extreme environments and improve conservation strategies. The discovery highlights the importance of ocean exploration and protecting these unexplored ecosystems for the future. France summoned United States Ambassador Charles Kushner over a letter criticizing its response to anti-Semitism.
The letter, deemed unacceptable by France, alleged insufficient action against rising anti-Semitic acts.
French officials met with the embassy's second-in-command, denouncing the letter as interference.
They stated that the letter misrepresented the reality of France's fight against anti-Semitism.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.